食え。メモれ、死ぬかと思った。もうダメかと思った。
Hey guys, today we'll be making Sanji's Seafood Risotto. Most people in the community think that Sanji's dish is a fried rice, but I disagree. Sanji's dish looked creamy and had a white color, which looks more like a risotto to me. Besides, throughout One Piece, the times that fried rice were made, it had more of a golden color and the rice grains could be separated visually, which was not the case here. That's why I think it's a risotto. But without further ado, let's start making the dish. To start things off, we'll make a chicken stock. I tried making this dish with fish stock, but it just didn't turn out as well in my opinion. If you want to use stock cubes, I won't judge, but hey, it won't turn out as good as making it yourself, so I would recommend doing that for the best results. Put some leftover chicken bones in a pan of water and bring it to a boil for like 10 seconds or so. Then pour it all through a strainer and wash the chicken bones with cold water. It is important to wash the bones to get rid of all the impurities so the chicken stock doesn't have a bad taste later on. Take a few celery sticks and roughly chop them up. Do exactly the same for a few onions. You don't need to chop them finely since the flavor will dissolve anyways. Add the rinsed chicken bones to a pot filled with water. To that, add the vegetables that we had chopped up earlier. Add some garlic cloves as well, around 5 cloves should be sufficient. Finish it off by adding 2 bay leaves. Bring the whole pot to a boil. Then lower it down to a gentle simmer. Let it simmer and after 3 to 4 hours it should look something like this. Strain the liquid through a strainer into a pot or a bowl. Make sure to lose no liquid because that would be a damn waste. You will need to add some salt yourself. I did it behind the camera. After I strained it twice, also through a mesh sieve, I got this beautiful golden stock which just tasted amazing. Now that we're done with the chicken stock, we'll move on to preparing our octopus. My only option was to buy a whole octopus, but if you can find some cooked octopus tentacles, I would definitely use that and skip this step. To prepare the octopus, we're gonna start by chopping some onions, a lemon, and a few celery sticks. We're gonna put it all into a pot, followed by the octopus. Once everything is in the pot, fill the pot with some water, until the octopus is submerged. Bring the pot to a boil. Once the water starts boiling, lower it down to a gentle simmer for like 10-15 minutes or until the octopus is tender. You do not want to overcook the octopus. Once the octopus has cooked through, take it out and cut off a few tentacles. Chop up these tentacles into bite-sized pieces. The octopus is now ready to be used in the risotto. We have now prepared everything we need for the risotto. Let's now make the actual risotto. Start off by dicing up half or a whole onion, depending on how much onion you like in your risotto. If you don't like onions in your risotto, then just skip this step. Put in some olive oil and let it come to temperature. Then add the onions. Stir it around until the onions have started sweating and become translucent. Once the onions have become translucent, add about 1.5 cups of arborio rice. I added 1 cup at first, but it wasn't enough, so I added half a cup more later. Stir the rice until it's fully coated with onions. You want to toast the rice, but not burn it. Once everything has been coated, deglaze with about a cup of white wine. Stir constantly until the wine is cooked off. Once the wine is cooked off, we're gonna start adding the stock. You want the stock to be hot when you add it to the risotto. We're gonna add the stock little by little. Patience is a virtue, so take your time. Once the stock has been absorbed, add more and keep on constantly stirring. I recommend using a wooden spoon for the best results. The thing with risotto is, it's not hard to make. You just need patience. It's all about adding stock and stirring. Adding stock and stirring. You want to keep on adding stock and stirring until the rice has an al dente texture. For me, the risotto is almost al dente now, so I took the stock off the heat so I can cook my seafood mixture. I didn't cook the seafood mixture along with the risotto because since I'm adding Parmesan cheese to my risotto, it won't taste well if the seafood is mixed through with it. I will cook the seafood apart from the risotto and then use it later as a topping. To cook the seafood mixture, we're gonna add some olive oil to the pan and get it to a medium-high heat. We're gonna start off by adding our shrimp to the pan. Once the shrimp is about halfway cooked through, we're we're gonna add the squid rings followed by the sliced up octopus tentacles. Cook the seafood mixture through for a few minutes on a medium-high heat. Don't forget to add salt and pepper to taste. Once the seafood mixture was almost cooked through, I started the finishing steps for my risotto. Add a few knobs of butter along with some sliced up parsley to the risotto. Stir with your wooden spoon until it becomes very creamy. The risotto is done now. We're gonna finish it off with a nice grating of Parmesan cheese. The seafood mixture is also cooked through, so we can now start with plating the dish. We're gonna start by adding our creamy risotto to the plate. Once we have added the risotto, we're gonna top it with the seafood mixture. I didn't add all of the toppings. I tried to add a little bit of everything. A little bit of shrimp, octopus, and the squid. Once I added the seafood mixture, I finished it off with some chives. So yeah, that's it. Sanji's Seafood Risotto. I'm gonna be honest, this tasted really good. I'm usually not a fan of octopus, but I loved it in this dish. The only thing that was missing for me was a little bit of lemon. This might be one of my favorite ways to make a risotto so far. If I was starving in the middle of the ocean, thinking I would die, and someone gave me something this delicious, I would cry as well. So yeah, I totally understand Jin's reaction. When we compare Sanji's dish to what I made, I think we did a pretty good job. We could have done a better job with the arrangement of the toppings and maybe used the white plate so it looked exactly the same. I'll try to focus on these details in my future videos. Since this was my first video, I made a lot of beginner mistakes when filming and the quality was inconsistent, so I apologize for that. I would appreciate any feedback in the comments. Let me know if there are any other dishes you would like me to make. Leave a like and subscribe for future content, and thank you for watching.